Welcome to a Psalm for Sunday. I'm reading from Psalms chapter 10, verses 12 to 18, and making some comments. So please follow along with me in your Bible if you can. Arise, O Lord, O God, lift up thine hand, forget not the humble. Wherefore doth the wicked contemn God? He hath said in his heart, Thou wilt not require it. Thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief and spite, to requite it with thy hand. The poor committeth himself unto thee. Thou art the helper of the fatherless. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none. The Lord is king for ever and ever. The heathen are perished out of his land. Lord, thou hast heard the desire of the humble, that will prepare their heart, that will cause thine ear to hear, to judge the fatherless and the oppressed, that the man of the earth may no more oppress. This is a very interesting passage with David, a king, pleading for God's hand to protect the humble, which from the context of this chapter and passage refers to the poor and politically powerless. Verse 13 goes on to ask why the wicked contemn God, with contemn meaning to treat or regard with contempt. God will not, the wicked think, require, seek after, demand, to call him to account. All older and current meanings of require. The matter of the sin the wicked commits. Ecclesiastes 3:15, that which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and God requireth that which is past. But in verse 14, David says that God does see it and does call these things into account, and he does help the poor and those without a protector or benefactor. Being fatherless means you are politically powerless. The eminence of God, that he is everywhere and can see every single thing, not being constrained by the laws of physics, is a fundamental Bible doctrine. Proverbs 15:3. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. Jeremiah 16:17. For mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is there iniquity hid from mine eyes. Jeremiah 23:24. Can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him, saith the Lord? Do not I fill heaven and earth, saith the Lord? Hebrews 4:13. Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all things are naked and open unto the eyes of him with whom we have to do. An important point to note here is not that this is a guarantee for everyone who is poor and or fatherless. David is saying that the poor do trust in God, and he does help the fatherless, although we know from our experience that this is not in every case. It's important to note that seemingly absolute statements in the Bible fall into two categories. One, without exception, as in every single one, and two, without distinction, as in a class of possibilities. God does help the weak. Pointing out an exception to this statement does not make it invalid any more than you jumping off your roof and not breaking your legs make gravity invalid. Who is this man of the earth that David is talking about? The man of the earth, as opposed to heaven, is an oppressor. The natural man does not know God. Kings, princes, leaders of all stripes can fall into this category if they do not honor God above themselves. 1 Corinthians 2:14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. And notice the requirement for a godly leader. 2 Samuel 23:3. The God of Israel said, The rock of Israel spake to me, He that ruleth over men must be just, ruling in the fear of God. Keep in mind that the heathen are those that are opposed to God the Creator, as they bask in pagan religions based on nature and devil worship. Perhaps this, in 16, is David's desire, and if only Israel had obeyed at the first, it might have been so. Um, this passage has some interesting prophetic possibilities with regard to the beast of Revelation, whoever he will be. Verse 15 contrasts with Zechariah 11:17. Woe to the idle shepherd that leaveth the flock. The sword shall be upon his arm and upon his right eye. His arm shall be clean dried up, and his right eye shall be utterly darkened. The beast will not regard God the Creator. From Daniel, we see what his worship might be centered on, much like a theoretical physicist today. For verse 13, I'm going to compare Daniel 11:38. Daniel 11:38. But in his estate shall he honor the God of forces, and the God whom his fathers knew not shall he honor with gold and silver and with precious stones and pleasant things. For verse 16, then this verse regarding the New Jerusalem. Revelation 21:27. There shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither worketh whatsoever worketh abomination or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life. Also consider these regarding events on earth itself. 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Then there's Revelation 20, verses 9 and 10. They went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about in the beloved city, and fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. The man of the earth in verse 18 has some interesting prophetic possibilities. One consideration is that in modern terms, earth religions are also called nature worship, where wind, fire, storms, and other naturally occurring phenomena are worshipped, as well as the matriarchal religious worship of goddesses like Ishtar, the goddess of prostitutes, immigrants, some say, and of liberty, from Babylon to New York Harbor. This also gives us an indication, along with Daniel 11:38, of the religious worship of the beast, perhaps, although ultimately, as many political leaders, he is his own god. He also may be a homosexual or considered himself asexual like an ascetic monk, in that he cares not for women sexually. Daniel 11:37. Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any God, for he shall magnify himself above all. Personally, this passage can mean many things for you and me. For the Christian in a third world socialist or Muslim country, it can be a plea for God's mercy and protection. For the working person in America, it can be a heartfelt cry for justice and protection against those who manipulate and control us under the guise, the lie, that they are doing what is in our best interest. Runaway inflation from government spending supposedly to help the country, heart issues and cancer for being forced to take a potentially dangerous pseudo-vaccine into our bodies in order to work and to travel, attempts to interfere with our rights and responsibilities as parents, and our own rights over our own bodies. All these things are tokens of oppression by a powerful political elite of wealthy men and women, many of whom made their wealth by stealing from us. This passage is a powerful prayer. I hope you'll read your Bible today, study it, cross-reference it, pray to God for wisdom and understanding, and then share your interpretation with someone else. And then, it doesn't matter that you disagree with me or don't like my interpretation or find that I missed something. That's great. Put it in the comments if you want. But the more important thing is that you open your Bible and read it. Let God speak to you through his word. That's my purpose. That's my goal. All right. Thank you very much.